Grand Rising Soul Fam. So I wanted to come on and share an oracle message from the Tao. Right now we are navigating through Gene Key 59, which is the shadow of dishonesty, the gift of intimacy, and the highest, most divine expression of transparency. So dishonesty is when we have hidden agendas and hidden motives. Intimacy is when we break down the barriers with vulnerable, authentic communication. And transparency is when we have no agendas. What you see is what you get. And when you can believe that in one another, then we can practice these extrasensory perceptions like telepathy, when you can feel somebody through the heart space. So this is the deck by Ma Deva Padma, and this is the card. In the hexagram, the word is dispersion, and a couple of keywords: diffuse negativity, restore harmony, circulate, revitalize, dissolve divisions, and lighten up. So here we go. The time of dispersion is a subtle but potent influence that works toward wholeness. It has the capacity to melt, scatter, or dislodge whatever obstacles and rigidities have been hindering unity. When communication breaks down between people, their relationships suffer. In the same way, there can be a communication breakdown within the self when we have compartmentalized and denied our own feelings or thoughts. Withdrawal and alienation are the result, whether the symptoms manifest within ourselves, in our work, or in our relationships with others. In the most profound sense, the opportunity presented by a time of dispersion is to reunite us with spirit, reawakening our capacity to experience wonder, and igniting our desire to express the inexpressible. Dissolving any rigidity that has been in place for some time will require a lot of patience and tact. It makes little difference whether the symptoms lie within your own thinking or have been generated by external circumstances. The effect is the same. You've become cut off from your own natural flow, and as a result, disharmony has grown in your relationship to your work, your partner, or your true nature. Becoming aware that there are snags in the communication flow is the first step toward restoring that lost harmony. You must also have a sincere willingness to persevere toward reconciliation, however long it takes. Be aware that the process of dissolving rigidity benefits from warmth, but not a blowtorch. No matter how intolerable the situation may have become, applying too much pressure will have the opposite effect from what you desire and will only provoke defensiveness and resistance. Your first task is to back away from the tangle to gain some perspective on what it will take to untie the knots. If you find yourself in a pattern of reacting and placing blame, immediately pull the plug on it. Returning to openness and trust means being strong enough to withdraw from anything that perpetuates the status quo. Indulging in temper tantrums and threats will only make things worse. Real strength is possible only when we trust that unity can be restored through gentleness. A sincere attempt to understand the other's feelings, or your own for that matter, can disperse all kinds of emotional logjams and melt the hardest heart. Once you have found your inner sincere intention and devotion to the task within and can express it through a relaxed and sympathetic outer demeanor, it can be surprising how easily negative attitudes and behaviors melt away. It's pointless to attempt reunification while any of the parties are still suffering from emotional chaos. It's a little like trying to hit a bullseye from the other side of a busy freeway, blindfolded. You could stand there forever shooting arrows and never even get close to the mark. But this is kind of childish nonsense that the ego often proposes when it's scrambling to appear on top of the situation and save face. Forget the face and allow yourself to simply be equal to the situation rather than on top of it. So now these are the changes. So in the I Ching, there's 6 expressions of each of the gene keys, or each of the lines of the I Ching. So now I'm going to read the changes, the 6th line. So the bottom line, line 1. The best time to overcome any tendencies toward division and separation is right at the beginning when they first appear. Luckily, your vision is clearing just in time. Without too much effort and with a sincere intention to restore balance, you can gently steer the course of events towards harmony rather than discord. Line 2. Once it has become obvious that the atmosphere is polluted, the first thing to do is to let in some fresh air. In human terms, that fresh air is innocence. And the best place to look for it is first within yourself. Every division that we experience starts first within a single individual, and every reunification can start there too. Look to yourself for any attitudes you might be harboring that actually contribute to suspicion, alienation, and discord, and let them go. Line 3. Now might be a good time to experiment with putting your own agenda to one side and taking a fresh look at what's best for the overall milieu in which you work and live. This might seem like a call to altruism, but in fact it's not. You'll be the first to benefit from any selfless efforts you might make to bring people together. Line 4. Sometimes people can get so fixed into an us and them attitude that even the most casual conversation turns into a tennis match. If you can see that this is what's happening now, chances are you're the best person to call off the game and remind everyone what good sportsmanship is all about. This might not be through direct confrontation, but more likely through an act of persuading all the players to join a new game that everybody can appreciate and support. Line 5. If you're completely at a loss as to what to do about an inner or outer war of competing factions, it might be time to retreat to the mountaintop, where the air is fresh and you can clear your head. When you come back down, your readiness to embrace a new reality is likely to be contagious. And top line, line 6. It's not always wise to stride into the middle of a street brawl and try to break it up. Have a close look at whether the participants are armed and dangerous before you attempt such a thing. If they are, the better part of wisdom might be to withdraw from the scene and persuade all innocent bystanders to do the same. There you go. Dispersion. Diffusing negativity. Perfect for Virgo season, the season of the devotee. And right now we're in the moon of Libra, which is all about restoring harmony. Sending you all so much love. Namaste.